Hello everyone, I am Prantik Chatterjee, a PhD student from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, IIT Kanpur, and I'll be presenting my work on distributed bounded model checking. This work was done in collaboration with Professor Shubhajit Roy from Department of Computer Science and Engineering, IIT Kanpur, Wui Deep from Department of Information Technology, Uppsala University, Sweden, and Dr. Akash Lal from Microsoft Research, India. The problem that we work on is program verification. Given a program P and a specification R, we are interested in knowing whether there exists any execution of P that can violate R. If yes, then we say that P is unsafe with respect to R. Otherwise, we say that P is safe. Now, verification tasks are computationally intensive. And these days, we have large computational resources readily available. So now the question is, can we distribute a verification task across multiple machines? One of the popular ways to do program verification is called symbolic model checking. In symbolic model checking, given a program P and a specification R, we encode this into a logical formula called verification condition or VC. Then we feed this VC to an SMT solver. Given a logical formula, the job of an SMT solver is to check for satisfiability. If the SMT solver finds that this VC is unsatisfiable, then it says that the program is safe. And if it is satisfiable, then it says that the program is unsafe. Now these VCs can often grow in size. So often what we do is that we only explore a subset of program paths. This means that given loops and recursion, we only unfold them onto a certain depth. This approach is called bounded model checking. One popular algorithm which implements this bounded model checking approach is called stratified inlining. Coral is a tool which implements this stratified inlining algorithm. Coral is a mature state-of-the-art and open source tool which is used by Microsoft Static Driver Verifier to verify Windows device drivers. Now let us take a look at the stratified inlining algorithm in a more detailed manner. The stratified inlining algorithm takes as input a program P with a starting procedure main, and it says whether P is safe or unsafe. If it is unsafe, then it returns an execution trace T. Now consider this example program given at the right hand side. The program has a main procedure. The main procedure has 5 basic blocks. In blocks L1, L2 and L3, it calls 3 procedures, foo, bar and buzz. The points at which it calls these procedures is called call sites. The structure of main is given in the control flow graph. So inside main, based on some condition C, if C is true, then we call foo and then call buzz and then finally check for an assertion violation on Z. And if C is false, we call bar, then buzz and then finally check for an assertion violation. The strategy that Coral employs or stratified inlining algorithm employs to verify programs is called counter example guided abstraction refinement, or CIGAR in short. So what this does is that it constructs an abstraction of the program where these call sites are abstracted, and then it checks for satisfiability on this abstract program. If it can find a counter example, then it refines this abstraction to check whether this counter example is spurious or not. For example, consider that inside main, if foo, bar and buzz are abstracted and it finds a counter example which goes through foo and buzz, then stratified inlining inlines these the call sites at foo and buzz, and then checks whether the counter example is spurious or not. If it finds that the counter example is spurious, then it further concretizes or refines the program by inlining the children call sites inside foo and buzz. And if it finds that the execution paths through foo and buzz are safe, then it checks for assertion violation in the else part. So then it inlines bar and its children call sites are necessary to check for safety. This is called an inlining tree, where from main we inline foo, buzz and bar and then inline their children call sites. So essentially the root node is main, and from main we have three children, foo, buzz and bar. Now the question is, how can we split this verification task? Consider this scenario when we have inline foo and buzz from inside main. We can construct two partitions of this program. In one partition, we say that the call site foo is must reach, which means that in this partition, we will only explore those program paths which must pass through foo. So in this partition, we will inline all the call sites, all children call sites inside foo and buzz. And then in another partition, we say that it is must avoid foo, which means in this partition, we will only explore those program paths which never goes through foo. So in this partition, we will inline bar and all its children call sites. Now, if both these partitions are safe, then we can say that the original program is also safe. And if any of them are unsafe, then the original program is also unsafe. So in this way, we can split the verification task. But we do not split only two times, of course. These partitions can be split again and again to further increase the degree of parallelism. Now the question is, which call site should we split on? Consider this example where from inside main, we can call a procedure foo which modifies some variable x. Then we can go to buzz which modifies some variable z, and then check for an assertion violation on z. Or from inside main, we can directly go to buzz and then check for the assertion violation. Now, if we split on foo, then we construct two partitions, must reach foo and must avoid foo. In the must avoid foo part, to check for safety, we will inline buzz and all its children call sites. And in the must reach foo part, we will not need to inline any children of foo, because neither foo nor its children modifies this assertion variable z. So in the must avoid foo part also, we will only inline buzz and all its children. So essentially, the must reach foo part and the must avoid foo part both will be exploring the same proof of the program. But consider that if foo did modify this variable z, then in the must reach foo part, we will inline foo and its children call sites. So in this case, the must reach foo part and the must avoid foo part, both of these partitions will be exploring different parts of the program. So clearly, which call site to split on, this decision is important. To select which call site to split on, we make use of under approximation queries. So in under approximation queries, what happens is that whenever we decide to split, so at this point of verification, consider that some call sites have been inlined and some call sites have not been inlined. So at this point, we construct an under approximation of the program by saying the call sites which have not been inlined, these are blocked. So no execution may pass through them. Now we fired an SMT query to check for satisfiability in the under approximated program. Now the under approximated program is a subset of the program original program's behavior. If this is found to be satisfiable, then the original program is surely unsafe. But if this is found to be unsatisfiable, then we extract a minimal unsat code. Given an unsatisfiable formula phi expressed as a conjunction of clauses phi1, phi2 up to phi-n, a minimal unsat code is a minimal subset of clauses psi belonging to phi whose conjunction is still unsatisfiable, and every proper subset of psi is satisfiable. Now consider the fact that the inline call sites which were not part of the minimal unsat code are irrelevant, because whether or not they have been inline is irrelevant to conclude the safety of the program so far. So we constrain ourselves to split on only those call sites which appear on the unsat code. Now we implement our algorithm inside a tool called Hydra. So the Hydra architecture looks like this. So we have one server node and multiple client nodes. Initially, the server node sends the program to the first client node, and this client 1 starts verifying the program, and client 2 and client 3 are idle. Now at some point while verifying, client 1 decides to split on some call site C. So then it constructs two partitions, must reach C and must avoid C. Now client 1 continues verifying this must avoid C part while it sends the must reach C part to the server, and the server enqueues this task. Now, when the server sees that some client, let's say client 2 is idle, it dequeues this task and sends it to client 2. Now, client 1 and client 2, these are parallelly verifying this must avoid C part and the must reach C part. So this way, Hydra distributes this verification task across multiple machines. Now, there are several concurrency overheads to deal with here. So the challenges we deal with, first one is that how to balance load across clients. So here we have chosen to implement our own variation of work-stealing algorithm to balance this load. And the second part is how to control this degree of parallelism. So clearly the degree of parallelism should depend on the number of available clients. If there are lesser number of clients available and we split too much, then we will only spend time in splitting rather than the actual verification task. And if there are lesser number of idle clients, there are more number of idle clients, and we split less, then a lot of the clients will be kept waiting while we do this verification. So essentially we cannot take advantage of parallelism. So clearly how many times we split should depend on the number of available clients. So inside Hydra, we decide on this degree of splitting or the speed of splitting with this feedback directed splitting algorithm. This is our experimental setup. So we perform all our experiments on static driver verified benchmarks. These benchmarks exercise all features of the C language, and these are real life Windows device driver benchmarks. From these benchmarks, we select only those which are hard for Coral to solve. This means that on these benchmarks, Coral takes greater than 200 seconds to solve. And we show the results of running Hydra with 32 clients on these hard benchmarks. And finally, we compare the verification time of Hydra with that of Coral. Here we show that the number of instances which were solved by both Hydra and Coral. So the time we allot to Hydra and Coral to solve an instance, maximum time we allot is 1 hour. So there are, as you can see, that there are 41% of instances which neither Coral nor Hydra could solve within 1 hour. A very small percentage of instances, which is roughly 4%, these were solved by Coral, but Hydra could not solve these. 25% of instances were solved by both Coral and Hydra within 1 hour. And finally, there were 30% of instances which Hydra could solve within 1 hour, but Coral could not. Here we compare the verification time of Coral versus the verification time of Hydra. Verification time of Coral is plotted on x-axis, while that of Hydra is plotted on y-axis. As you can see that Hydra usually solves these instances in significantly lesser time. Here we compare the speed up that Hydra gains while solving over Coral. So in this case, we only consider those programs which both Hydra and Coral has solved. So as we can see, in most of the cases, Hydra gains either 5 to 10 times or 10 to 30 times speed up over Coral. And on average, the speed up that Hydra gains over Coral is 20 times. Here we perform an experiment to check the scalability of Hydra. So how does Hydra's performance change as we scale the number of clients? So we perform experiments with 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, and 32 clients. As you can see, as the number of clients in Hydra increases, so does the number of instances solved increases. So we have developed a verification engine called Hydra that can distribute a bounded model checking task across multiple clients. Our experiments show that Hydra is significantly faster than Coral. Hydra is open source and available at the Hydra branch of the following repository. Thank you.